Hey there everyone, this is Mystic Fish and welcome to episode 18 of our Factorio Space Age playthrough, where we are designing one big factory ship, the General Systems Vehicle. Last episode, the GSV became capable of processing science research, which is exciting. And in fact, we finished our first space science research up here on the GSV. So that's pretty exciting. Now, because we finished the thruster here, obviously we can build thrusters. This now enables us to make thruster fuel and thruster oxidizer, but it also allows us to melt ice, which we could not do prior to that, and that's why we're shipping water barrels up. So I think one of the things that we can do then is we've already sort of planned for this down here. In a recipe selector, we can now make this be priority 1. I think we need to add the logic for it because I don't think we did it. So fortunately, the ordering of this doesn't particularly matter. So what we want is if this is equal to 1 and there is a demand for water, and we have sufficient ice, then we should start. Or we should continue as long as we don't have too much water and as long as we have sufficient ice. Okay, good. I believe that now means we can take this off. Although maybe we don't have to. Maybe we don't have to because I guess there's no real harm in picking up water barrels here and carrying them around as sort of a last resort. If we look at the recipe priority. Oh, that's not down here. It's on 2 different things. Okay, so then I think I do want to disable this. We'll just take that guy off. Very good. Then what else? So we're getting closer. So let's look at the other things that we have to import for science. Obviously, crude oil we have to continue doing until we can do coal liquefaction up in space, and that requires coal synthesis. If we come in here, produced by this thing, this is unlocked by rocket turrets. So we have to go to Gleba and research rockets in order to get coal synthesis and do coal liquefaction up in space. So we're going to be... all right, that requires going to Gleba is the short answer. We will never really be able to get rid of importing stone bricks because there is no source for stone up in space. I think eventually we'll get this from Vulcanus. That's sort of a more convenient place to do it. Once we have advanced asteroid processing and coal synthesis, we'll be able to get rid of coal and crude oil. We'll be able to get rid of plastic, and advanced asteroid processing also helps us get rid of the copper. So that means we need to get to Gleba is the short answer to what that means that we're going to require. So let's talk a little bit about... So now we got to get ready to get there. And so what are the things that are in the way? One thing that's in the way is actually discovering Gleba. Where is that guy? Search for Gleba. This guy. Why can you not... Oh, we have to research landfill first. Right, because you need landfill for building on the swamps of Gleba. Okay, so that means we're going to do... landfill and Gleba. We can get that started. That means landfill, we should be able to do some of it down here with just whatever red and green science we happen to have on hand down here in the base. I don't think we make any more because we disabled them out of the recipe down here. Where is this guy? It is this guy. Right, we disabled all of the science production down here on Nauvis, so that's okay. All right, so we need landfill and we need to discover Gleba. That will take a little bit. So then what else? I think the other thing is, we've seen that the biters occasionally get close to our sort of walls of mines. And so it is, my physical presence here on the planet is still sometimes necessary. But I think what that means is I think we need to research, I think we want to research getting a tank. If we can build a tank, we'll be able to leave the tank behind and drive it remotely. This guy. And so we're only missing military 3. So we'll do that and we'll do tank. And then I think the last thing to do here is I think we want to research flamethrower for a couple reasons. One, personal flamethrowers are very effective against both biters and pentapods on Gleba. So I think we want those. We can also install a flamethrower on the tank. And so that will leave us in a position where we can leave the tank behind as well as producing some things that we need. Now, what else are we going to want to do? I kind of feel like it is, since we're going to do some base building on Gleba, I kind of feel like it is going to be acceptable to build some like personal equipment stuff. So, although, I don't know, like, I'm back and forth on this. Like, I do think we need this stuff. I think we're going to need this stuff for Gleba. And maybe we just do this much. I kind of want to get the GSV to the point where it is at least as self-sufficient as it can be for the moment. And so there are other things, like it would be nice to, I guess we may have to fight. I may have to fight stuff on Gleba. All right, maybe I'm going to use that as a justification for getting modular armor. This guy, which it seems like I can get just with heavy armor, modular armor. All right, so we'll do those two. And what else? We are also going to need to make a cargo landing pad. So in order to do that, I think the easiest, when we only want to make one of something, I think the easiest way to do it is to just plunk an assembly machine down here, for example, and make it a cargo landing pad, and then we can hand feed stuff in like this. That does require getting some steel plates in here. So I think we can do that by saying I actually want 100 steel plates. And I think our logic will cause us to accumulate that stuff. We also need... Oh, I don't need that many. I only need 25. Okay, hold on. 25. That's easier. We need 10 blue chips and 200 concrete. So let's go ahead and dial that stuff up. So 10 blue chips and 200 concrete. Is that what it said? I think that's what it said. And concrete is or is not one of the recipes we have available to us here. We did not put concrete in yet. Nor blue chips, nor electric engines. Okay. Then let's go ahead and put electric engines in. as 5. Let's put blue chips in as 7. I am going to put rocket fuel in as 9. I think, I think it's an interesting question about what is going to be the relationship of the planetary bases to the GSV. And part of me kind of makes it, I kind of want to make everything dependent on the GSV, which is wild, which would mean that if the GSV is going to a planet to pick stuff up, it should also like drop off its rocket part stuff, so that the silo can get built, or sorry, so we can build a rocket for the stuff that we want onto the ship. So I kind of, I think that's kind of cool. Make this stuff on the ship because we can totally do that now. And we also need concrete on this guy. As 11. Okay, good. And then we just need our recipe guy. Okay, so we've seen how to do this. I'm going to put in these recipes up here into the recipe selector. Hey, look at that. Ooh, I want to see us melt ice. Is there ice on the belt? There is ice in here. Is there ice coming? There's ice being put on the belt? There is ice being put on the belt. Okay. Cool. So in that case, oh, I know how to handle this. Okay, I think then the way to handle this is that if I bring this out here, I think I can just turn this into 101. And then when I come in here, I can make this 101. So it'll just be a lower priority. If we are totally stuck for water, we have nothing else to do in here, then maybe it's okay to do water barrels. In which case, I think I can actually put this back. Because I think that means that, I think it just means that the water barrels are really there as sort of a backstop. All right, we've got ice coming around. Let's see. Part of me also wants to do this. Get additional inputs. Oh, I need this to be symmetric. This way. All right, that's better. I don't know, did we make any ice this way? Make any water? It should work. Just need some ice coming around over here. Oh, here comes some ice. Maybe one of these two will come down this way. Oh, this one's coming. All right, here we go. Make me, all right, ice, water. Great, we're melting ice. Hot dog. Okay, very good. All right, so then, yes, I need to put in the rest of the recipes down here. And then we'll come back and talk about what's next. Okay, we have finished with that round of research stuff. So let's see about what else we might want to do. I do think we could get power armor. That's interesting. But until we get some of the personal stuff, I'm not too worried about that yet. But I think I will. We are going to want to make power poles down on Gleba. So, because I don't want to worry about shipping wood around or anything like that. So maybe we'll just pick this one off. And let's see about Let's see if we have the stuff that we need for making a tank. So let's see, what is that? How does one make a tank? Because we have researched it now. Oh, that's on this screen. Okay, we need engines, steel. I need engines and steel. That's what I need. Okay, let's see. Here's steel. And there should be engines up here somewhere. Here's a bunch of engines. And that makes a tank. Okay, that's good. So we can put the tank here. All right, we do need this stuff. So, and I think we want to make that stuff down here on Nauvis, just so that we can defend things even if the ship is not in orbit around Nauvis. We are getting... let's do this. I think we should go ahead and get 200 of this in here. Some of it might be actually in the buffers because they're ingredients for... yeah, there are some here. Okay, and then you go there. Okay, good. We're gonna need solid fuel for the thing. Flamethrower fuel we're going to need. I think it's easiest to make that up here, actually. So let's see. Flamethrower fuel. And I guess we'll make it here on the GSV. So that's over here. This stuff, flamethrower ammo. Let's get 100. Oh no, I need this to be a different number. We'll just make this be 200. Okay. We need to teach this how to make it. This guy. And you are made out of crude oil and steel. So if we need some, and we have crude oil, and we have steel. And then let's see, we'll update this guy to here and here. And we will say, let's reserve some of that in here. And then down here, we can make a request for it in here. Okay. Yes, I do realize that we were shipping oil up just to make it down here again, or to make it on the ship and make it down here. But I think because we need the ammo for Gleba anyway, we may as well ship it up there to make it. And that way, we don't really have the crude oil hooked up to our fluid system down here. So I'm going to go with that's okay not to happen down here. For the Nauvis recipes, let's see. I do think we want to make cannon shells down here. These guys will be recipe 60. And This goes like this. Let's see. We need some. And these are made out of steel and plastic and explosives. So we have to have enough steel, enough plastics. Nope, that one. And enough explosives. Okay. Good, and then we should request some in the mall here somewhere. What are we done making? Is there anything here that we're done making? I guess we can be done making crushers. So let's change this to be these guys. We'll change this as well. And then let's request 100 of those. Okay, that should take care of tank stuff, especially if we... Equipment grid. Oh, I can't, all right, I have to drop it in. I have to drop it in when that stuff comes. So, cannon shell, can I just click that? Or I have to actually hold Z and put it in there. All right, so we can work on stockpiling the stuff in here for the tank. If I do it this way, construction bots will put it in here. Okay. Let's put in, I don't know, 100? Let's put in 100. The flamethrower ammo. Okay, and then solid fuel. Two things of 50. Okay, good. All right, that takes care of that. What else did we do? We did power armor, right? Or modular armor. So that stuff is here. That is made out of just steel and red circuits. So let's just see if I can just grab that stuff. Let's grab a steel. Let's grab a red circuits. Is that enough to make it? Yep. Okay, good. I think that will... I think this will suffice for, let's see, where I'm going to stick this. I should go stick it in the mall somewhere so I can find it later if I need to. Although actually, sorry, I'm figuring out where to stick my old armor. Here we can run along the belts here like this. And why don't we stick it in the ship? Okay, did I make it? Okay, good. Okay. All right, that's waiting to have stuff come in. Okay, some of that stuff's coming in. Good. And I did say I wanted some of this, right? Yes. Oh, but I don't have the recipe for it. Okay, hold on. I have to teach this thing how to do it. Right. So let's have you be 25. And no, that's here. No, that's the multiple. That's the, it's this guy. Here we go. Okay, so begin making it at 25. If we have demand for it and we have sufficient steel and we have sufficient crude oil, or if it is 26, as long as we don't have too much of this and we have sufficient steel and we have sufficient crude oil. Okay, we don't have enough steel, so that's fine. Okay, so that will make some of that stuff, but it means that we will need oil to come through on one of these inputs, probably this one. That could be this guy here for these inputs. Okay, so we can just say, we'll turn on the crude oil is available there. And aha, we're making the ammo. Good, good, good. Okay. What else? All right. I think I have all the stuff for doing this now. This is 25 steel. It is 10 of these. And 200 of these. So I'm holding Z here to sort of ghost place these. Ghost place them? I don't know. It's like hand placing them, like you would do for your inventory. So I'm just doing it until I have 200, and then that should start crafting. And then we should talk about what else. Okay, so that's going. Okay, good. All right, now we also are going to need, and I realize now looking at this, I did not leave enough space for the fuel recipes. So I actually need 4 extra spaces here. And I now, this is what somebody asked about this in the comments, and they're like, you did not set the stuff, like renumbering this stuff is hard. And indeed it is. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect this. Is that what I want to disconnect? I guess I'll just disconnect this one. Then we won't set new recipes until we're done. Not that I don't think anything bad would happen per se, but okay, so we need this to be 3. We need this to be 5. So those, and actually that's not even the right thing. We need this to be 3, because if we can make that, it's more efficient. We haven't learned how to make it yet. So I'm just going to make these 1003 and 1005. Then this should be 7. And this should be 9. That makes this 11. That makes this 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, 1027, 29, 31, and 33. Okay, and then if I come in here, I think I just add 8 to all of these, right? What's number 13 is the heavy oil cracking, right? So I just add 8 to this, which is not so bad. This becomes 11 for lubricant, yes. 12, 15, 16, 21, and 22, 19, 19, 20, 23, 24, 29, 30, 31, 32, 1 is still 1 and 2, okay, and then 25 should become 33 and 34. Okay, that restored all that stuff to working. Okay, good. So we do want these now. So we'll do 7. And that recipe is if we need some of that, and this I think is just carbon and water, right? Okay, so we need to have sufficient carbon, and we need to have sufficient water. And then continue. As long as I don't have too much. Okay, good. Then we need to do the same for the oxidizer, which is 9. And that takes iron ore, and it takes water. And then the continue recipe is 10. We don't have too much of it. We still have enough iron ore. And we still have enough water. Okay. Excellent. I think I can now hook this back up. All right, good. All right, that should do that. Now, I do want, I think, to adjust Oh, and I realize we have these green wires which are supposed to be counting these tanks as part of the current inventory of fluids, which I think they should. Okay, good. So that was hooked up. But I think what I want to do, let me slide this. Oh, I guess I can stay there. Let's get, I want to make, so these by default are defaulting to between 1,000 and 5,000 of the fluid in question, but I want there to be exceptions because I want there to be more of the fuel stuff because it'll help us operate the pumps more effectively for controlling speed later when we do it. So I think we're just going to put in, let's say we want between how about 20,000 and 24,000. Okay, this should become green only. No, I didn't do that right. This should also be 20,000 of this. And this should be 4,000. Okay, all right, let's label these. So these are going to be non-standard fluid low water marks. Okay, and we're gonna say by default, low water mark for a fluid is 1,000 units. If we want something different, we can set it here. All right, I'm gonna copy that, save, add description, and these are non-standard fluid high water marks. By default, high water mark for a fluid is 5,000 units. Okay, good. And then we are going to connect this one here, and we're going to connect this one here. And this needs to only read green, and this needs to only read green. This we will apply only if the red one is 0, meaning we don't have a special one. Otherwise, if there is, I guess it doesn't matter. We need there to be a high water mark or a low water mark, and for the green to be less than the low water mark. Correct. Okay. And then this one, and there is not a low water mark, or a high water mark rather, or there is a high water mark and the green is less than the red. Okay, good. That should be, we should be able to see the demand still showing up as, where is the demand? It'll be here. Okay, demand is still 2 for, okay, good. We're successfully beginning to save this stuff up here. Okay, good. I think that's correct. This is done. So we made some of those. Okay, what else do we need for Gleba now? So I think we should begin making some stuff that we're going to need there. So let's do this. Let's add a section which is going to be Gleba supply. Oh, let's see. Let's call it supplies for Gleba. Okay. So, what do we want? I think we are going to want a bunch of belt. I think we should also get some undergrounds and some splitters. I think we want medium power poles. I think we want large power poles. I think we want roboports. I think let's get 100 construction bots. Let's get 100 logistics bots. What else do we need down there? Will we need tanks? We might need tanks. I think we just begin manufacturing stuff we might need down there. We might need chests. What else? We're gonna do red belts. I think let's get fast inserters. I think let's get, do we want burner inserters? I don't think so. I don't think we need those. We will want pipes and underground pipes, pumps, rail stuff. I don't think we'll do rail stuff. Will we want a car for down there? Yeah, we might want a car. Okay, how about some of these storage chests? Landfill, I think we're gonna have to make down there, but we can make lights here. We can make combinators here. We can make these up here too. And constants. We want some loudspeakers, maybe, but we can wait for that. We're gonna ship any of the rest of this stuff down? I don't think so. Okay, what else? What from here? Repair packs, sure. We probably want repair packs here anyway. Okay, boiler steam engine. I don't think we want that. I do think we want solar panels and accumulators, which we have not actually researched. So we should also do accumulators, these guys. Okay, because that's going to be our initial power until we can start burning stuff. What else? We can't make this stuff yet, I think, until we research the heat exchanger, what is necessary to do that? Unlocked by heating tower, which is just a research, what do you have to do? We have to mine some copper. Okay, fine. Good. What other things do we need to make? I guess I'm not making these yet, so because I don't know how to make them yet. Will we want furnace stuff down there? And do we want electric furnaces or steel furnaces? I'm thinking electric furnaces. I think it's easier to run. I think it's not hard to get enough electricity on Gleba. So we'll do that. These we'll make down there. We will want assembling machines. Will we need refineries down there? I don't think so. But we will want chem plants. Any of the rest of this? No labs or anything like that. None of that. We won't do module stuff yet. This is all intermediates, so we won't do any of that. Any space stuff we're going to send down there? I don't think so. We already made this. We should maybe make a rocket silo. We can make the rocket silo up here and send it down. So that might be worth doing. And then ammo-wise, maybe we make the mines. We'll still use the mines and so on down on Gleba, but maybe we'll make them down on Gleba. Maybe we'll make them down on Gleba. Okay, I think that's what we'll do. Oh, and we do need mining. We'll need miners. We'll need these. Oh, we need pumps. And we need electric mining drills for stone. Just get stacks of those things. Okay, and then as long as we're making red belt, oh, I think I have a red belt upgrader somewhere. Is it here? Yes, make things red belts. So I think I'm just gonna say everything becomes a red belt. And that will help us upgrade stuff over time. Okay, this is going to stay very busy now. Working on all this stuff. Okay, then we're gonna keep things busy here. Okay, what are you missing? Okay, right, okay, you don't have all the fuel yet, so that's okay. Are we making, did we make some? Some made it down there. I guess we don't have any in inventory yet. Okay, because we sent some down there. Well, I guess we can see, right? Okay, so some showed up. So that'll be good. Okay, so cool. We'll let that go, and then we'll be back. All right, just to give a flavor of our tank driving. We'll load up in the tank and hood over here. We've got some biters that have encroached on our mines. And so let's see how it goes with clearing them out. Now the nice thing is we'll be kind of able to hide behind the mines to some extent, which will keep us keep the biters off of us. Well, I guess it doesn't keep the spitters off of us if we get too close. But we can just take a little tour to lure them closer, and then, you know, we just kind of like snipe these guys, do some damage to them, and then duck back behind the wall of mines to repair, hopefully before we get destroyed. And okay, yeah, and then from here we can repair and then take another run at it. So we'll just continue doing that, and that's how we'll keep the biters off of our borders. All right, just a quick checkpoint here. We are waiting for rockets from Nauvis to ship us enough oil to finish making some of the things that we're missing up here. And I've looked ahead, and one of the things that I actually did not realize was that advanced oil processing requires yellow and purple science. And I fear that they're going to require such quantities of raw materials that we're missing from the ship. In particular, there's oil, lots of, oil-based products for yellow science. There's lots of stone being used for purple science. And so I realized that I think what we're going to need to do is to basically bring the purple and yellow science with us to Gleba, so that we can just ship up the, we can probably make the other stuff on board, but we're going to have to, I think, bring all of this science with us to Gleba. So I'm going to start building some of this stuff down here on Nauvis. I think that means that we have to research some of this stuff down here or up in orbit. Not sure which. But in the interest of like getting on with this thing, let's see, what are we missing here? We need these guys, and we need these guys, and these guys. And then we can do this one. Good. Do I want to re-enable the science down here is an excellent question. And I'm going to go with no, I do not want to. So let's see if we can just grind through this relatively quickly with the science we have on board. And see where we can get to. Although we're waiting on, I guess we have lots of plastic. We have lots of plastic, so we may be able to make enough blue science for the parts of this that we need. So I'm going to do this, and then once we've researched this stuff, I'm going to just save up 2,000 science packs of yellow and purple science here. And then we'll send them up. So that'll be the plan, so stay tuned. Okay, after a long time and a bunch of progress here down on Nauvis, I think we're finally got all our stuff. So one of the things that I worked out was it's actually more efficient, rocket efficient, to ship up just all of the sciences because we can't make any of the sciences. All of them at least require copper or stone somewhere, and so or oil, and so we can't make any of the sciences up on the ship without raw materials from Nauvis. So because we have the spoilage factor of the agricultural science, it just makes more sense to just bring everything. So I re-enabled science production down here, not research, but science production. Saved all that stuff up and sent it up to the ship, which has now finished building all of the stuff that we said we wanted to bring to Gleba with us. So, so this is well packed with stuff, and you can see we've got our full complement of the Nauvis-based sciences. We'll have no problem making the space science packs up in orbit, I don't believe. So, so that should be okay. And if we do run out in orbit, we can always fly back and forth between Gleba and Nauvis. We might need to do that to get enough oxide chunks to make ice, but we'll see. A couple of interesting things. The hub is full. And so I've actually been dropping through the process because once we built all the stuff that we wanted to bring with us, then the space platform was basically making extra stuff, and in particular steel. And so because especially purple science is so steel hungry, I dropped a bunch of steel from the platform down to Nauvis. So we're actually working together here. So that's good stuff. What else? The other thing that I did was while I was waiting for all that to happen, I was like, you know what? Like, let's get busy with the tank. And so I have actually extended our domain up here to the uranium patch. And the way that I did it was kind of like I don't know, I guess a roboport creep. I'm not sure what you would call it, but basically sort of roboport by roboport. I would sort of extend an area, surround it with mines, and then plunk another roboport down. I brought some solar and accumulators with me just so because the extra power drain from the extra roboports. But you can see we sort of came up here quite a bit. You can see these chunks of pipes. I'm not sure how helpful these actually are. In theory, chunks that have your buildings in them become less of a target for the biters to expand. And so, in particular, Michael Hendricks, if you watch any of his videos, he makes use of this to really claim a bunch of land and keep it free of biters. The problem is if you look at all the circles are red. There are no more green expansion chunks, and so they're going to settle near the base anyway. So I don't know that these really help anymore now that we've gotten to this point. Let's see. So, but the tank has been pretty effective obviously we cleared a bunch of biters to get up here. So, and clearing is always harder than defending. So now we just have to sort of wait for alarms. When we hear alarms and generally what happens is an expansion group comes and plunks down nearby here. Eventually they may or may not wander in and trigger some of the mines. Then the bots come and replace the mines, and the mines are visible to the biters just for like a second or two. Then they sort of sink into the ground and become invisible to them. But while they're visible, worms and so on will attack them. And when the spitters or whoever attack the mines with spit, they get attacked and we get an attack signal. And generally speaking, it's a lot easier to clear an expansion that's right next to a bunch of mines because you can kind of, with the tank, you can kind of loop around behind the mines or hide behind the mines and just sort of snipe out the expansion. And that'll get easier as we do more research. But like I said, we have now, I believe, finished packing for Gleba. So we've got a lot of stuff. We may ditch some of this stuff to create space. I don't know that we need it yet. We'll see. But we now have to figure out how to get some propulsion on this thing, as well as defense from asteroids. So those will be problems for future Mystic Fish. But I think I'm going to be pretty happy with this episode here. We managed to produce a lot of stuff. It was pretty easy to build a lot of the base building materials and stuff up here. That was convenient. That was I think clearly better than trying to send rockets with all that stuff up here. So that's a win. And yeah, I guess that's what we have for today. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Until then, bye.